Let's bring in now our national trial attorney guest who is standing by. Michael Jaafar is with us. Michael, Alex paints a picture of what it's like inside of that courtroom and just the demeanor of this witness on the stand. I mean, her head down, you're only seeing her hair part. I'm wondering if that is purposeful to further shroud her identity. I understand even how she comes into the courtroom may be shrouded so that people can't get a photograph of who she is. But does that prejudice the defendant at all? You've got someone who is clearly scared to the point they don't even want their name out.
Absolutely, completely prejudices him, and what it shows the jury is that it lends credence to her allegation that she suffers from PTSD. She avoided him and his team, and she was abused. It does lend credence to that. At the end of the day, what the government's trying to do, and why this witness is important, what the government is trying to do with this witness is very, very difficult. They've never done this before. I tried to find a precedent for it. I couldn't find it. What they're trying to do is basically show that Sean Diddy Combs was like a mob boss, but instead of, bribing, dumpster companies and bribing unions, he's actually coercing people into sexual acts. This has never been done before, because at the end of the day, if the jury finds at the end of this trial that he was gross, he was a monster, he was a criminal, he committed all these acts, and some of them were criminal, but this was not part of his business, then the racketeering goes out the window. That's why this witness, this Mia, is so important. That's why her demeanor is so important, because her demeanor will show that she was the linchpin to connect his business and his grotesque personal fetish life. Right? That's why she's important, and that's why her demeanor is so important, because it'll lend credence to that. Will it work? I don't know. What I've seen, Julia, is that when because juries are human beings. They're not AI robots. They're not going to be able to detach the human element of a witness and what a witness has gone through from the actual elements on a piece of paper that they will be given in instructions at the end of the case when they're trying to decide the case. They can't divorce those two, right? So if the government can paint Sean Combs as this supervillain who has done these, like 1% of what they have pretty much proven he's done, not a single human being does, right? And I don't want to pass judgment on his life, but at the end of the day, it's pretty dramatic. So this Mia is going to lend credence to all of that, and she's going to help the government paint him as a supervillain. And when the jury goes into the room, they're going to give reasonable inferences in favor of the government. So that's why I think this witness and her demeanor is so important to the federal government.
And you said the word supervillain. That's the exact word that witness Kid Cudi used on the stand when talking about his interaction with Sean Diddy Combs. And I agree with you. It's rare with the way that they are prosecuting this case. But in 2021, I sat through the R. Kelly trial, and it's very similar to how they carried out that prosecution. So we will see what this jury does. We know a jury convicted R. Kelly of very similar charges.